This is the Barbados Today afternoon news for Thursday, January 11. Thank you for joining us. I am Mary-Claire Williams. The fallout continues from the ongoing sewage problems on the south coast. The United Kingdom today issued a travel advisory warning its citizens to avoid the affected areas. It says there are leakages in certain areas on the south coast as a result of the breakdown in sewage pipes, and the UK advised its nationals to avoid coming into direct contact with the raw sewage and follow normal hygiene precautions. The United States and Canada have also issued similar warnings to their citizens. And Prime Minister Freundel Stuart has been speaking to visitors on the importance of maintaining a safe and healthy environment. Addressing a reception for repeat visitors at Ilaro Court last night, Stuart avoided direct mention of the problems on the south coast, but he stressed the importance of the tourism industry to Barbados and the need to make Barbadians comfortable.
You are no doubt aware that we rely very heavily as a country on tourism. Tourism is the lead sector in our economy, and therefore it is important to us that we do nothing to undermine or to weaken the confidence which you have continually displayed in Barbados over the years. We have never pretended to be a perfect country. In fact, I don't know of any perfect country on this planet. The countries from which you have come are not perfect. In fact, if they were perfect, you would not be here. But in ensuring that we create the kind of environment which induces you to continue to visit Barbados, we take the position that we have to make Barbados a congenial and comfortable place for the people who live here first.
Yesterday, opposition leader Mia Mottley called on the Prime Minister to address citizens on the ongoing sewage leakage. Mottley also said government needs to draw up short, medium and long-term plans to address the situation. Meanwhile, the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association has been meeting with the Barbados Water Authority to discuss the issue on the south coast. BHTA chairperson Roseanne Mayers said the association is disappointed that there has not been significant progress, but she says the focus must now be on solutions. And following the talks, the BHTA's CEO Rudy Grant said work on a possible solution to the south coast problems is due to be completed within 3 months.
The BWA updated us on the immediate plans to address the situation and indicated that this work will be completed within 3 months. In the meantime, it is expected that they will continue the current short-term mitigating measures to provide relief to businesses and residents in the affected areas. It is critical, particularly as a result of the advisories issued, that there is constant assessment and review of the short-term measures implemented to ensure that there is no reoccurrence of this situation. It is imperative that every possible action is taken to safeguard Brand Barbados and the well-being of Barbadians, residents and visitors.
The Immigration Department has been given a deadline of Friday to have their new headquarters ready for occupation or face the possibility of workers walking off the job. The warning comes from the National Union of Public Workers, who says the officers at the condemned Wharf Road headquarters have run out of patience. General Secretary Roslyn Smith made the statement at the launch of the union's discount card this morning.
And I believe that this visit, come Friday, should be the end to the whole drama with the workers. If we do not have a positive outcome, then workers will know exactly what they should do. But the existing building will be condemned, full of everything that is not conducive for a working environment. I know they have made strides in removing all the files that have been affected, and I don't know exactly how far they have reached, but that filing, cleaning those files will take a while. So we don't expect them to be taking them into the new building. So Friday's visit will give us a better view of how far the contractors, the management of defense and security and immigration have reached.
There's regional and international news after this short break. Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back with news from the region. And disaster management authorities in St. Lucia are reminding residents of the need to be prepared following this week's earthquake that jolted the Caribbean. The 7.6 magnitude quake struck the region late Tuesday night between the coast of Honduras and the Cayman Islands. It was one of the strongest quakes to hit the region in recent times. And although St. Lucia was not affected, citizens were worried after a tsunami alert was issued. Disaster officials say the region needs to be ready in case disaster strikes.
Sometimes we would have very little warning time for persons to be able to take action. What is very critical is that persons are aware of the natural warning signs of tsunamis, and that once you see those signs, you immediately know what action to take.
Authorities have continually advised members of the public to pay attention to warning signs of tsunamis, one of the more visible being receding seawaters. Immediately heading for higher ground is the safest option. Despite the tsunami warning being in effect for the Northern Caribbean, there is still some panic in the Southern Islands, St. Lucia being one of them.
For us, we receive advisories from the Pacific Early Warning Center. The advisories are sent to the Met Office, which is the National Warning Focal Point, but we would also receive that. Once the Met Office receives the information, of course in consultation with NEMO, as for many of the Met hazards, we would decide the level of alert that is put out to the public, whether it is a warning or a watch, depending on the information at hand. I want to indicate that we do have a draft tsunami plan that details some of those procedures. We're seeking to finalize that document, but of course there is something that we have that we're already working with.
The NEMO director stressed the importance of public education on other Met hazards and natural disasters, which can likely befall St. Lucia.
And on the international scene, the Chinese President Xi Jinping today welcomed recent progress in inter-Korean talks during a telephone call to the South Korean President Moon Jae-in. At Tuesday's talks, North Korea said it would attend the Winter Olympics in the South next month, and both sides agreed to resolve problems through dialogue and revive military consultations to avoid accidental conflict. Seoul and Beijing agreed in October to move beyond a year-long standoff over the deployment of a U.S. anti-missile system in South Korea, an accidental conflict. That's news this afternoon. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also find us on Mix 96.9 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Have a good afternoon.